Hello everyone. Today I'd like to share with you a tutorial on how to make your own greetings card. Now this one I've designed for Mother's Day in mind, but you could write whatever you wanted inside there. It could be a birthday card or an Easter card. And all you're going to need is some card and an envelope, and then a selection of coloured papers or cards. I've got some that are plain and I've got some that I found that were printed. And if you don't have coloured card at home, I've just used some paint to paint the shades that I want to use on another piece of card that I had. So you could always use some paints, leave it to dry, and then use that for your cutting out. You'll need some glue, pencil and rubber, some scissors. Now I'm going to be using some gold paint, but if you don't have a gold paint, you can also get things like Sharpies in gold, or you could just use any colour you like, whatever you've got at home. Now, I also have a huge stock of these paper cutters in flowers and leaf shapes. If you don't have those, no problem. I'm going to show you how to cut them out yourself. All right, let's get started. Okay, first things first, you need to make sure that your card is folded and facing the right way. So many times when I teach this to children, they end up making their lovely pattern on the back and then writing upside down and back to front. So you want to make sure your fold is on the left hand side and your card is ready to open, just like a book. The first job is we're going to make those gold circles on the top like you saw here. And all I did to create that was take a paper cup and I painted some gold paint around the rim and then printed it 3 times carefully onto my card. Here goes. You don't need much gold paint, just a little bit dabbed around the ring. The next two I'm just going to do slightly off to the side. There we go. Now whilst this is drying, I'm going to leave that there, we're going to move on to cutting out our flowers and leaf shapes. Now again, if you don't have gold paint, you could just draw around a cup or a mug with a coloured pen to make your circles. We'll put this to one side and we'll move on to the flowers. And I'll start off by showing you how to make these big flowers. I've only put 2 on there. You can obviously put as many as you like. I would say it's better to have a few focal features and then some detail around the outside. So let's start with these. Now you're going to need to make 4 petals for each flower. And the way I do it is to draw 2 big number 8s like this. And then 2 smaller number 8s. And then I'm going to do the same but with a different colour. I'm going to make my shapes just a fraction smaller than the last ones. Now once you cut out your petals, you could stick them down like this, but I like to give mine just a bit of texture. So I take a pencil and then I roll the petals round the edge, like so, just to give them a bit of a curve. Can you see that? Okay, once you've got your petals ready, we're now going to have a think about how to make our leaves. So if you've got one of these at home, brilliant. You can punch out some leaf shapes. If you don't have a leaf stamp at home, punch at home, you can just cut them freehand. So you can either draw them with pencil or have a go at drawing or cutting out some leaf shapes freehand. Trying to do my best Matisse leaf shape here. There we go. Great, so prepare all the paper that you need and then we'll get to assembly. Okay, so when it comes to sticking on the leaves and the flowers, you want to be focusing on putting on this bottom left hand part of the circle. And I'm going to put my heavier or bigger flower lower down and then the slightly smaller flower next to it. So let's start with the slightly bigger flower. That was my pink one. So I'm going to choose one of my biggest number 8s to go down first. A little bit of glue. Pop that on there. Another bit of glue. And I want to make sure this time that the 8 is facing the opposite direction. There we go, push down in the centre. Make the 8 face a different direction this time. And again facing in a different direction. There we go. Okay, now we need to think about putting the leaves in around the flowers. So I think I might tuck this one this way round, or do I want it to go down here? Maybe go down the bottom. Now notice I haven't stuck all the leaves down. That's on purpose. It's to make sure that it's got a little bit of life to it. I'm not sticking everything down flat. Now we come to the centre of the flowers. Now on my original one, I had 2 of these little black gems, which I bought from a craft shop. And they make perfect centres for these flowers. But if you don't have any plastic gems or anything that you could use, maybe you could use a button, or you could perhaps draw in your centre with a black felt tip pen. You might have some of these at home too, so I just used a tiny bit of this to accent around the edge of the flowers and in the centres of some of these paper flowers that I stuck on. So if you've got some of that, feel free to add that on now. I'm just going to put in a few dots. Now the next job, whilst you're letting this dry, is to write in pencil the message on the front of your card. Now on my one I made, it says "Love you, Mum." And I've used 2 different typefaces. I've done some loopy calligraphy here and then some block capitals there. I'm going to do it very lightly because I'm going to rub this out afterwards. Of course, if you make any mistakes, you can just rub those out and try again. In fact, it might even be worth doing this bit, practicing it on a piece of paper first before you do it on your card. And of course, when you're ready, you're going to go over your pencil with a black pen. So there we go. I'd leave that to dry for half an hour, maybe an hour, and then when you're ready, very lightly and carefully rub out any pencil marks that you can see underneath the letters. And there you have it, your very own Mother's Day card. Hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Of course, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the account so you know when any new videos are uploaded. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.